It's 2024. We're back again. And this time we're going for a giant.
Yeah.
Gained a bunch of elevation. Timber tigers. Challenged him. If I didn't have these poles to lean on, dude.
Oh, remember that time we did it? A long time ago when we were kids with no poles, how
Yeah,
terrible it was? We were crawling up the steep shit. Because we were falling forwards all the time.
They already saved me twice.
Remember how many times we fell over that trip?
Yeah. Well, I might as well be a bowling pin. I'm so fucking top heavy. It's so quiet in here, dude.
It's crazy quiet.
Yeah, this is nuts. These trees really block like any type of wind. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was a breeze down there.
Well, it's that time of year again, and we're back in the mountains. Stoked to be hiking up into the beautiful Alpine in British Columbia. This is a very spur-of-the-moment, last-minute decision to go on this hunt. It is a lot later than we've been up here on previous years, and we're back in our favorite little honey hole. The only reason that we actually decided to come back and try again is because the previous year we had some questions unanswered on a few deer that we had seen. Maybe if we're lucky on this trip, we'll get a look at least one of them.
Exactly how we left her.
Hey, good work.
Yeah.
We're here.
I'm gonna drop it on my fucking gun. Fuck shit.
She's heavy, buddy.
Dude. That was a fucking heavy bag.
Good work. Look at those units.
Really hunting sucks, dude. It makes everything heavier. Well, we did it.
Back again.
It's 2024. We're back again. And this time we're going for a giant.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, we're gonna get camp set up and then we're gonna hunt tonight.
Little intel. We didn't know it until editing last year's footage, but we filmed a fucking slob up here from a long ways away, and we didn't know what the deer was until we looked at it on the computer. So only reason we came back was to look for one deer, and hopefully it works out.
Hopefully. Should be a big boy up here somewhere.
Gotta be, eh?
Yeah.
And with that little tiny bit of intel from the year before that we really hadn't even realized that we had captured, we're back on the same mountain yet again. Normally, we wouldn't come back and hunt the same area year over year, especially in this particular place or just this region in general. The deer density numbers are extremely low, and if you go back to the same place year after year after year and harvest a mature buck every single time, if you're lucky enough to do so, within a handful of years, there literally won't be any deer to hunt for. It takes 4 to 5 years for each up-and-comer small little buck to return and grow to maturity. And even then, some of those deer may not be what you're looking for on a backpack hunt like this. Normally, you're expending so much time, effort, and energy to get a look at one of these deer that realistically, we're only here to take one that's exceptional. Yes, the meat is fantastic, but to take something that's lesser off the mountain, really, in all honesty, isn't really worth the effort. You can take a deer like that a lot closer to home with a lot less work to acquire the same amount of meat. That particular evening, though, we did set up and do some glassing. I don't know if you could see it or not, but in the middle of the screen in that green belt, we did spot a buck, and we only got a look at him for a short amount of time, so we couldn't really identify what all he had going on because he just wouldn't come out from behind some trees. But that being said, he did look like he was a potential shooter. Eventually, though, he just laid down out of sight, and then we lost enough light so we couldn't actually see what he was. We had the pleasure to film these couple billies up on the side of the mountain. They are beautiful creatures. They ended up walking within a few hundred yards of us. It was cool to watch them. They're always doing funny things if you spend a lot of time looking at these animals. It's amazing how much ground they'll cover simply just on their feet and feeding. Some days we'll be looking at them in the same bowl as us, and the next day the same couple of goats will be literally miles away doing the same thing somewhere else. Hopefully, with just a matter of time, these goats will materialize into bucks, but that's only a pipe dream. All we can do is spend the time on the mountain and hope that our fruitions and our ambition to come up here and try again will reward us with some sort of a spectacular encounter with the animal that we are chasing.
I think it might have been a buck, man, because it was flicking its head around at one point, like just out of my view, and I feel like it might have been raking a tree.
Yeah, very well could have been. Master Guide, tell me what's going on.
I spotted a good buck. I'm shivering so much right now. It's so hard to glass, but
There is a buck over there.
And it's
by itself in the very steep part of the shape.
The steepest part of the opposite face.
Yeah.
And we would have got a better look at it if it moved a lot earlier, but it re-bedded and didn't get back on its feet until now, and now we're just like out of light.
The camera can't pick it up. Binoculars aren't picking it up.
All we know is that it's a buck.
Yeah, it has frame. It has frame that's big enough to see from well over a kilometer, and it looks like it's bigger than a basket rack. I think it's a mature buck.
Yeah, I just don't know how big.
Yeah.
Look at the goats. You can see them pretty easy.
I know.
Fuck, dude, I got really cold.
Let's go back to camp, dude. We're done. We can't see anything anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like, I carry this fucking 5-pound goddamn spotting scope all the way up here. This is why I hate this thing. If anybody wants to donate a nice Swaro, I'll be happy to accept. Too rich for my blood.
Hey, buddy. Good work. 2 goats and a buck. It's
We
a
got
good
a
start.
buck. That's a good buck.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for tomorrow.
I hope we can spot him tomorrow.
Yeah. In the morning.
It's supposed to rain almost all day tomorrow, so I don't know how much wildlife viewing we'll get, but maybe we'll get lucky. You never know. Okay, I need to move.
Yeah, back to camp.
This heat is amazing. These little twigs burn so hot and so fast, it sucks. But when you need it in a hurry, these little twigs are lifesavers. I got so cold down there, I couldn't stop shivering. The wind, man.
Your thin little pants.
Yeah, I didn't change into glassing clothes when we got up here, so I was just like, nope, let's go, we're running out of time.
That was worth sitting the night there. We see the solid rock and we saw 2 goats. All we know is the fuck has like a decent frame.
Yeah, that's it. We couldn't see points, couldn't see nothing else, but nonetheless, we got a buck spotted, so at least we have something to look forward to tomorrow. Coffee. Oh yeah. Coffee whiskey. It says I'm already at 88%. This thing is at 90 something. Like, and just like that, we got coffee.
Well, if you've never spent any time in the mountains on a hunting trip, hiking, or anything like it, I'm sure you'll know it's the little things that matter. And if you haven't, well, this is good advice. If you're willing to carry up some small little things that are just nice and comforting in the evenings when there's not much else to do, it's a great thing to have for your mindset while up on the mountain. We awoke the following morning to the rain having pounded our tent all night.
Hopefully now to glass a distance, so we're gonna just get a heap up from the fire and then go sit in the cold all morning and see what we can see, because it snowed last night, but it didn't stick where we are. Pretty calm this morning, so hopefully we can find a deer. I just sprinted back here, but I don't know if it's the same buck we saw yesterday. There's a buck that's looped us, and it's crossing below us. He's really tall. He just rubbed velvet. His antlers are fucking blood red, and he's a 4x3, look like with a sticker. Let's go get him.
And just like that, in the first half an hour of visible light, I spotted a buck. He's right behind camp, and we don't have much time to get on him as he was moving. All we're hoping for here is that he's got his head down feeding and we can sneak in on him. I'm not entirely sure where he's ended up, but we know he's down below us somewhere.
Creep up to this edge really slowly. Don't go through the bramble. Be ready, just in case he's actually big. I don't know. He's probably decent. He was decent, but I don't know if he's a shooter.
I didn't have much time to look at the deer as I only watched him walk through an opening down below. I know he's on the caliber that's close to what I want to harvest, but I'm not entirely sure if he's going to make the cutoff. Nonetheless, we're making a play on him just to see if we can get lucky. Hopefully he's right here somewhere, but upon glassing everything, we haven't had another look at the buck at all. I think he's dropped down lower.
He was lower than this. He was over this edge. So, I think what we should do is creep over through here, and then get above him. And then if he's above us, well, we might see him. But if he's below us, we'll probably see him. Just to get a look at him at the very least. Let's go try.
With what I figured was going on, that would have been the right play. But little did I know, this was about to backfire dramatically.
How big was it? Medium big. Let's go.
The buck had actually fed uphill, and he was only about 80 yards away from us when we tried to cross this opening. He was behind a bunch of timber, but when we went through that scrub bush, I'm almost certain he just heard us and spooked. I did get a look at him again, only for a couple of seconds, but nonetheless, we scrambled across the hillside, hoping that maybe he might have done the classic mule deer and stopped somewhere to look back. Hopes for this were pretty low, though. Nonetheless, all you can do is try. I knew that this was pretty much shot at this point. These deer are pretty cagey, and they don't want to see you at all. We gave it a shot, but all he had to do was run a couple 100 yards, and he was into the thickest stuff you could think of, so the odds of seeing him again were slim to none.
we thought he was moving across I thought he was moving across the face, because when I first saw him, like, he was moving quickly. But he didn't even go 20 yards from where I last saw him, so we tried to get behind him to watch him going away. And he was right where I last saw him, so it didn't work. Should have came in front.
I didn't see a towering set of antlers over his head.
No, he was like this tall, and he had like 8-inch front forks. Left side is 100% a 3-point with something going on, and his right side's a 4 with like a smaller back fork.
It's a pretty nice buck.
Yeah. Just kind of like his fronts did that. You know, his fronts did the fucking, like the swoop when they come in.
Yeah.
And his antlers are literally bright red. Like that deer literally just run. Look at that deer initially and think, I need to shoot him, otherwise I probably wouldn't even have ran back to camp. He was only like 200 yards away, I could have just whacked him.
True.
Yeah.
It's okay, we wanted to get the footage.
Yeah, I know.
We bumped it.
Did you have the camera too soon?
A lot of the time when you're still hunting, you have to make split-second decisions. Even in open country like this, you would be blown away by how quick your encounters can still be. All the brush that I'm pointing at down below is about chest deep, so when I originally had seen the buck walking through it, I was only getting pieces of him here and there. That being said, had the deer been the caliber I was hoping for, I probably just would have sat down right where I was, lined up at my next opportunity, and pulled the trigger.
We got too close to him.
It's a 3x4 with a kicker, I think.
Yeah, or like some weird little back fork thing.
After this close quarters encounter, it was heavily looming on my mind that maybe I had made a mistake. The opportunities in this country are very few and far between, and that very well could be the only deer we see all day. Nonetheless, we packed up and headed to the other side of the mountain to sit down to hopes to maybe relocate the deer we had seen the night before. That being said, the buck that we had just jumped very well could have been that deer moving out of the country, dropping down into a new chunk of the timber where we would probably never see him again.
It's so crazy that the deer are already moving back to bed down, eh?
Yeah.
They're definitely up here, though.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
They have no reason to not be. It hasn't been very cold.
No. It's actually gotten a lot warmer already this morning.
Yeah, dude. I'm comfy now.
Yeah.
Well, my suspicions would come true, and after glassing the entire country for the remainder of the morning, we were unable to turn up a single other deer.
We're getting a bit of rain, so we're gonna go back to camp. We spotted a bedded down goat. No deer.
Probably one of the goats from yesterday, but besides that one buck on its feet, nothing else is. And we don't want to get soaked, so we're going back.
The back end of the range is already completely fogged in and raining, so we're gonna bounce.
After the rain had let up, we chucked on some rain gear and proceeded to go out on a little still hunt, trying to make the most of what seemed to be kind of a write-off of a day. Sometimes you can get lucky and deer will get up and feed in the rain. It's just when you're battling such low numbers, the odds of you encountering one are quite small. Being our only encounter was on this particular side of the mountain for the day, we focused our time here, and soon enough we would see another ungulate. A small baby immature moose. This is a pretty rare sight anywhere, it seems like. Nonetheless, it was a really cool experience to see this guy out feeding.
Baby bull. It's tiny, it's a spike. I think it's just a spike.
It's a 2.
Considering the rut wasn't too far away, even though this wouldn't be a breeding bull, I decided that maybe after we had watched him for a while to see if he would react to a little bit of calling.
Didn't hear you. Heard ya.
He's interested. Call again. Call again. He's really interested. Ah! Yeah, he's running. They might push a buck up, you never know. This is listening. I wonder if he thinks that there's a cow over here and now he's coming because I don't think he saw us. Saw some more wildlife, decided to go for a walk in the rain. Paid off a little bit. What? It paid off. Yeah.
It turned out this little baby bull actually was pretty interested. He ended up running about half the distance up the hill to us, only to ultimately wind me and then run back down the opposite direction. After this encounter, the rain would only worsen, and soon enough, we were losing visibility quickly, so things were not looking great.
Shitty weather for the rest of the day. Yeah, it's not supposed to stop raining until like 9 o'clock tonight or something. Yeah. So, today might be a complete write-off, but we're up here. Alright, let's go get out of the rain then.
It's been raining for a few hours now. We threw the jet boil pots in the tarp to catch water, just to avoid having to go down for as much water today. So we're gonna make some soup and some lunch and free rainwater.
Well, we've already kind of emptied this once, so. In the last hour, that's a liter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we got.
I only need 3/4 of a cup for my soup, but we drank the rest of it.
Here, well, I'll put some of this back. And then we'll empty it into the bladder and store stuff.
Look at that, free water. Didn't even have to walk 2 miles to go get it.
If it keeps raining, we're not even gonna have to go on a water run today. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice. That's like almost 2 liters.
Yeah. Let's cook some food, drink some water, free water.
Free water.
The rain traps are a definite must.
Yeah, dude, it's the next biggest benefit to having the tarp.
Look at all this water here. This water's full of ash and stuff.
Oh, it's
You-
not as bad.
You
this
could
time.
boil it and it'll be fine.
It's not like as dirty this time.
Well, let's boil this water and drink that water.
Alright.
Scoop her up. Yeah, just boil the full like amount and then we'll just split it.
There's 750 mils in there.
Yeah, that's lots.
Little bit of ash and soot in your food never hurt anybody. This is just a blessing because we didn't have to work for the water. We are hungry and it's time to eat some lunch. The rain traps that the tarps provide is a definite must on trips with any type of bad weather. It just saves you quite a bit of walking in the end. And I'll tell you one thing, eating the noodles, you definitely didn't notice all the bits from the fire in there, that's for damn sure. All I cared about was getting something warm into my gut.
Get some salt back.
Yeah, that was good.
Eat some hot food.
I'm hoping for like 2 hours of nothingness tonight. No wind, no rain. so we can just go sit in the stillness and hopefully see a buck get up and walk around. It's literally only 12:24 and it feels like we've been sitting forever.
Yeah, time is not going by very fast today.
No.
It's just like not windy right here, but you go sit in the rain, in the wind, it's fucking cold up here, so
Yeah.
we're just chilling by the fire.
These type of hunts are marathons, not sprints. So when you have the time to be able to just sit and chill and not be extremely uncomfortable, the better you're going to end up in the long run. Throughout the breaks in the rain, we were able to glass the surrounding area, not able to turn up anything either. But eventually our wish would be granted and we would be able to make a run down into the bottom to have a look from a different perspective. Also, we decided to top off the water since we were here.
That was random.
Yeah, that was super random.
When you're out on an extended trip in the mountains, every calorie spent doing anything has to come with some sort of reward, or at least we try and make it that way. In this case, just because we went for a big walk, we decided to grab water regardless, just so that we wouldn't have to in the future. It's kind of a 2-for-1. You always need to be thinking about things like this, because eventually you're going to get worn down and tired.
Anyways, we trekked all the way down into the canyon for water. Bringing back like 5, 9.5.
I got 7.
13. Bringing back 13 liters. There's a couple of mountain goats up there. We're gonna sit and watch this face for the evening and see if we can't spot something.
One thing I've always found extremely different about being in the mountains from society is just how time actually moves. You have so much time to think, so much time to sit, so much time in general that you almost become lost in it. The days sometimes will go by extremely fast depending on what you're doing, and at other times, very slow. I'm always extremely grateful for the slow days because these sort of days generally don't really seem to come very often in modern society. That being said, we did get to sit here for quite a long time and watch some beautiful wildlife. Those 2 mountain goats from the day before were still in basically the same spot, and they were up doing goat things. We live in one of the few places in the world where these animals reside. The mountain goat, with their white fluffy fur, generally spend all of their time in the summer and early fall months above tree line. Their diet consists mostly of lichens and grasses, and as they transition into winter months, they will seek shelter and be able to feed more so on needles or anything else they can pick off of the timber down below. They're adapted to extremely steep terrain, and you will generally find them in such a place. Usually you won't see them in very large numbers, especially at this time of the year. Normally you'll see them in either solo or in small groups, in this case a group of 2. I think the most that I've ever seen together at this time of the year would be about 5 or 6 strong. These 2 billies didn't mind picking their way across this face at all. They're extremely well adapted, and their hooves have little cleats essentially that can grip onto very unstable surfaces. They're extremely agile and have the balance of a cat, and you would be blown away by where they can actually walk. The mountain goats of BC have a huge range. They essentially can cover the entire province of British Columbia. Although their populations do not have large volume, generally they're spread out over a massive area. They live in the Rocky Mountains, the Coastal Range, the Caribou-Selkirk mountain ranges, and the Purcell Range, which basically incorporates all of BC, with the most dense numbers of their population being in the northwestern corner and southeastern corners of the province. These creatures have always had a little bit of a soft spot for me. I've hunted them once before, seen quite a few of them over the years, and I find them to be quite beautiful little animals. They're quite stocky in build, as you can see, and their fluffy white coat as it leads into fall really does look impressive, especially when they start to fill up. These goats look pristine. Sometimes you'll see them with a little bit of a yellow tinge to them, especially in the summer, but the closer you get into winter, they really start to thicken up, and they are a beautiful creature. They're pretty broad-chested, and they are extremely tough animals. I don't know how these things survive the winter eating what they do. They must have to feed a lot, and that's probably why we're always seeing them up on their feet. We sat here and watched them throughout the majority of the afternoon, unable to turn up a single deer. We were hoping that just maybe through the gaps in the trees we would catch a glimpse of one get up and shift its position, but that never came to fruition. All we did was burn hours behind the glass, staring into the nothingness, praying that maybe we would have another deer encounter. But so far, we were not to be so lucky.
If anything, we'd see them down in here because it's so quiet in this bottom compared to like everywhere else. Up top is windy, so down here she's real quiet. Let's see what we see. It's day 3. We got snowed on. Didn't stick as much where we are. Glassed up a rub from a deer down the face from us. Probably that buck we saw the other day. And we're just looking for anything. Very quiet, very still, very cold this morning. But hopefully, with it being like this, anything that is alive should be up on its feet this morning. All the deer are up on their feet, the ones that are living here. Yeah. She's looking back. Might mean nothing. Fucking bird, bro. Yeah. In an unkillable place. Yeah. Well, they're still up here, Kev. Apparently. They didn't go anywhere. Their habits have changed, though. Yep. Fucking thing's already going to bed, and it's like 6:45 a.m. As much ground as possible at prime time, and we didn't see anything except for one doe, and she was already going to bed at 6:40, so I'm not really too sure what to do. bucks are rubbed and the deer are not moving, so it seems like a crapshoot. We glassed the entire mountain behind me this morning. There is not a single animal over there. She's a little grim. We're thinking we might give it one more day. We might go to a different place, maybe go on some burn, backpack in somewhere. Try and find a few more deer. There are deer here, are here, but they're in extremely low numbers. And they aren't cooperating, which makes hunting virtually impossible. We're coming up on the 20th, so later than we've ever been up here. And our deer back home, they leave sub-Alpine around the 20th to the 25th. It looks so cool though. It's probably the most beautiful piece of scenery you've ever had being up here. 100%. It's pretty nice. Yeah. Really, really hard to see with this thing. Oh yeah, it's standing in the frame now. It's right there. It just squatted down to take a piss.
I see it.
I spotted
brother.
one.
Atta
It's
boy.
so far away.
Master Guide Kevin.
What is it doing?
That looks like
It's a doe.
there's deer up there, brother. There's deer up there.
Yeah.
Is it still in frame?
Yeah. If it had a big set of horns, you'd see them right there.
Yeah, but that's a good sign, dude. They're still up there. They're still up high too.
Mm-hmm.
If those deer haven't left, there could be a decent amount of deer chilling over there. Proves our theory wrong. The does have not left.
Yeah, maybe there's just not very many deer over here this year. Well, morning recap. What are the highlights?
It dumped snow. The weather semi-broke apart. We got some blue around. We just glassed up a doe through the spotter from like 10 kilometers away.
Yep.
And saw nothing while we were out there hunting, so
One deer.
yeah. Batteries died last night from cold weather.
Yeah, we're having complications with batteries on this trip.
We brought a lot of batteries.
My phone had like 80% battery last night, and I accidentally left it outside of my sleeping bag, and it went to 0 overnight. So, that's annoying. But
We hiked around and checked out everything we could all morning long.
yeah, covered
So-
some ground.
Now we're just gonna eat food.
It's like
We're trying
noon.
to re-motivate ourselves to either keep hunting or go hunt somewhere where there's more deer. To be determined.
Yeah, to be determined.
Yeah.
The only thing keeping us here is there's an unidentified buck, and we did see one nice one, but if it wasn't for that, this place is pretty grim this year.
Yeah. Not a lot going on.
No. Little jerky. Yum.
We're into mid-afternoon of day 3. The weather is nice now. I've never heard the mountains more still in my life. The calm after the storm, I guess. It is literally dead quiet. There is not a single sound. Except for the odd bird going by. Literally no movement at all. It is crazy.
While I caught up on some shut-eye, brother was out there still hard behind the glass, and he turned up a couple deer. Eventually, these deer just came straight up out of the bottom where we had got water the day before, and they were out feeding just above that in an opening. We watched them for a bit and continued to pick apart the rest of the mountainside, but were only able to turn up these 2 deer for the next couple of hours. That being said, it was the much needed boost that we need, just knowing that anything is possible, even if you think you're not going to see anything or the odds seem so stacked against you. Seeing one of these does is just as likely as seeing one of the bucks. It just wasn't the right deer in this particular instance.
Something got up and moved. That's nice. Now we just need a hammer to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting all packed up. We're making the long send because we haven't turned up anything, so it's 3:50 p.m. We have 4.5 hours of daylight.
Yep. We only seen the 1 buck. I probably made we made a mistake on stalking. That was nice, so this isn't panning out, so we gotta go look at some different country, I guess. It's either that or we drop out of here and go somewhere else, but then we got to thinking, well, that's a lot of driving and also a lot of work, and we're here, and this is a lot of work, so why don't we just go here?
Yeah, it's hard no matter where you go. Killing a big buck's not an easy task.
I just hope we see one.
Me too.
Killing one and getting it out of where we're going is going to be the biggest accomplishment of our fucking lives if we do it.
Well, we did it once, but we had an extra man.
Yeah.
We do not have an extra body this year to pack weight, so this will be... If we kill one back there, it's gotta be a trophy buck.
Yeah, it's way too far.
We'll leave scores can stay out of it. It just has to be a trophy. Has to be good looking. That'll be worth the hike. But yeah, bodies are kind of sore.
Yeah,
We're a little run down. When we woke up this morning and it was completely white outside, I was not super optimistic, especially with like how few sightings we've had and just like the deer only moving right before dark or at first light. So we did see one deer today from like 10 kilometers away, and it was bedded down into, what time was that, 9:30 a.m., like 10 in the morning. It was still laying down way up high in the wide open, so that gives me optimism that if we go back there and spend a couple days, we'll see a buck laying down where we can actually observe him and get a good look, maybe be able to put a stalk on something.
Either way, it's a lot more area, so.
And we have a good water source there. That part is kind of nice to know.
I'm just really not looking forward to walking 10 kilometers. It's gonna suck.
Yeah. Big adventure time.
We got this, buddy.
We got it.
Eyes are watering already.
It's true. We're looking at a pile more land now. Actually over here. It's gone. Oh, the inscription. It washed off. Yeah. Too bad. Cave drawings.
Oh, look at our little fire pit. Our home. I like this spot.
It's so quiet in here.
Yeah. Good work. We earned it today, bud.
That was a boot.
That was a big one. Once again.
Need water.
Yeah.
We're set up. We got camp set up. It was a long day, but it feels good to be looking at some new ground.
100%.
After making the big push throughout the majority of what we had left for daylight, we arrived with just enough time to put some glass on this drainage once again, hoping that maybe, just maybe, we would turn up something that we strive for every single year. I would consider myself a pretty hardcore deer hunter. It's literally my favorite animal to hunt. The mule deer is a spectacular creature. Although they live in such places like this, you can go to chase them. It is an extreme mental battle just to keep yourself in the game, let alone the physically demanding aspect that comes along with this style of hunting. For anybody who has never done something like this before, just be sure that you're willing to fail, because many trips you will go and not succeed. Not every time turns out to be amazing, but the trip you will always remember for the rest of your life, regardless of success or not. The funny thing about life is no matter how many of these trips that I go on and endure, it's always the ones that seem to be the toughest or the most miserable that I seem to enjoy the most after it's all said and done. Success at the end of the day is exactly what we strive for, but it's not always going to come your way. This type of hunting will be burned into your memory bank and make you crave more every single year. That's why we keep going back and suffering through the mountains and everything that they throw at you.
Wow, it's first thing in the morning. Been out looking for 40 minutes probably. Haven't seen anything yet. I'm just covering a little bit of ground in my Crocs. Didn't want to put my boots on. But nothing directly by camp, so I'm just gonna meander my way over like 500 yards and have a look down along the fir or like the bigger timber edge. Because we see the odd track like coming out of it, I'm assuming at nighttime, into the wide open. We've never seen a deer do it in daylight, but we've seen them coming back. So I guess we'll just have to go look. Well, I'm back at camp. Justin's been picking apart that, didn't see anything. I did a loop around, up, way over there, and then all the way back. Ended up walking probably like a kilometer from camp, didn't see anything. But hopefully we get some sun and maybe we'll see some deer move around. Just looking, there's a bunch of stuff to look at over this way. Never seen a deer in it before, but maybe today's the day. Well, it's 9 in the morning, and we've been chilling for a while, picking this country apart for hours, and finally I spotted a deer. It's a doe. It's way up in the, just below all of the rock, actually, which is surprising, because I've been looking around everywhere all morning, like mostly lower down, because we didn't see anything up high, but pretty sure it was bedded out there in the bramble, and then it just stood up, and now it's walking around. Yeah, it's moving.
I'm not on her yet.
Good to see.
We worked so hard for this sighting.
Seriously, though.
We walked so far back here just for a chance to see some other deer. And we've been debating all morning if there's deer here, if there's not deer here, have they migrated out yet, have they not? And now we're looking at deer in the exact habitat we thought we weren't going to see deer in. And they just stood up out of nowhere in the wide open.
Yeah, that's fucked.
I don't see it. I'm filming it right now, but I only see two deer.
It's coming over back to where the other one was, so you're going to see it in a second. It's coming into the wide open.
Oh yeah, I see it. On the right.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying on the left.
No, that's the first one we saw. The does are just as elusive as the freaking bucks.
I'm so happy with that, dude. That made that all worth it, because now it gives me a lot more confidence there's other deer that could be out there. Like, we're looking at a group of 3. This is more action than we had the whole time on the other side. That just boosted our deer count by 3.
Yeah, we're at 7. 7 in 4 days.
7 hard-earned deer.
7 deer in 4 days.
Those deer were a much-needed boost once again. After a really hard day on the boots, we decided to take a little bit of R&D and just kick back and relax. After all, these hunting trips are vacation days, so why not make the most of it? Putting your feet in some ice water will definitely take the edge off of any soreness that you have, especially with the nice weather that we were presented with throughout the middle of the day. Getting ourselves resituated was also a must. We didn't carry the majority of the bulk of the water that we had collected across the Great Plains because it is quite a trek and water weighs a ton. But this was a really easy source for us to go get, just a little over 1 kilometer from our tent. So we were scooping up as much as we could, treating it, and then we would be set for the following days.
She bounced. Having your feet in the water does feel pretty nice.
I bet.
Got all the water bagged up. I just kick back and chill.
Fucking stanky.
This feels so much better. Just an 8. Wandering around the wilderness.
When you're out here for a long time, sometimes you just gotta clean yourself off. Feels the wind is definitely cold, but your face and your hair and everything feels a lot better when you go find some water.
The sun is actually keeping me pretty warm.
Yeah, the sun's hot.
The first handful of years that we were in the mountains, we didn't take an emphasis on cleaning yourselves up, and at the end of a trip, you were just a disgusting mess. Taking the time to do this will enable you to keep your spirits higher and hunt harder for longer. I would highly recommend.
Survival tip for when you're in the mountains. Build yourself a heat wall. So that way when it's really cold out, like it's about to be in a short amount of time, this puppy will chuck warmth at you forever.
Oh, it's working.
And it works.
It's working really good.
Last night, our fire pit was probably about this high, and it was super cold. So we built this behemoth, and even though the fire is ripping right now, it's probably like 2.5 feet tall because we just threw a bunch of fresh wood on it. Like, even with a small fire, it is hot against this hillside now.
Yeah, this fire's hot.
This is the best thing that you can do when it's cold out. Like, it feels like I'm sitting in the Bahamas. It is awesome.
saw an oven here, yeah.
Yeah. This is an ancient petrified tree stump. I've never found wood anywhere in the province that burns as good as this stuff does. It's insanely full of sap and pitch, and it's completely dry. Literally throw one of these on and it'll burn for like 3 or 4 hours straight like this. It's insane.
The stillness of the following morning was incredible. But now we're into a new day with new optimism and new opportunities hopefully will be presented to us. All we can do is watch and wait.
Yeah, it's here.
Little bit of wildlife to break up this boring day.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Haven't seen anything since, 9 this morning?
Yeah.
That's the first animal we've seen move. That's one moosey. So
Yeah.
exciting.
One moose.
Just as rare as seeing a buck.
It honestly is, yeah.
The nicer weather would not do us any favors as far as deer goes. Around 9 a.m. on this day, we did encounter one lone doe, and it was leaving the drainage we were in completely. We watched it walk completely up over Skyline and into the opposite side of the mountain that we were glassing. Wasn't exactly encouraging. We did, however, get a little bit of footage of this moose. It was basically the only sighting to speak of the entire day. We rounded out the evening with a bit of still hunting on our side of the valley, hoping we could capitalize on a close quarter encounter, but that would also never come to fruition. The days just seemed to go by, and we're not having much luck. I don't really know what else to do. After day after day after day of this, it does really start to wear on you. Not finding success is a tough thing in the mountains. So realistically, we're kind of running on thin air here. We have no gas left in the tank. We're not going to go one more drainage deep considering how far away it is. So all we're doing is hoping that an opportunity presents itself. The following morning, the wind was up pretty high. First light, we glassed the opposite side of the drainage to no avail of turning up another ungulate. So we decided just to cover as much ground as we could on our side, maybe hoping we'd see one down below us. This was basically our strategy day in and out. We're just trying to make the most of the ground that we have to hunt, cover every angle in prime time, and maybe catch a glimpse of the animal that we're looking for. It's times like these that you think you're completely down and out, and in the past, sometimes a miracle has happened, and all of a sudden, the chase is on, and everything comes together in a handful of seconds. Keeping your optimism high, even when it's really at its lowest, is the key to being successful when you're out in the mountains.
We went and checked all the bulls on our side of the drainage. Didn't see anything. Ventured out into the flats. Nothing. Got blasted by wind. And brought back another chair rock.
We need to get a couple rocks out of the quarry and prop her up. Muddy chair.
Yeah. Well, that works great. How's that?
It's good. Sitting
looks
on a
perfect.
hillside sucks.
Even through all the disappointment of the morning, we were about to see something that we thought we would never see up here.
Still walking.
Yeah, I can see its antlers.
That is wild, man. They really are taking over, dude. They're going everywhere. Okay, I'm getting them in frame. Yeah, it is a basket rack. Yeah, Kev, it's a little buck like this. Look at, it's like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Whitetail numbers throughout the province of BC have never been extremely high, blanketed across the landscape. But in the last decade, they sure have seemed to have taken off. And now, even in this instance, we are seeing one in a place that you would never, ever see one in the many, many decades previous to this encounter.
I'm zoomed in all the way on him. Yeah, he's very small. Has multiple points. At least 3 points, I think, on each side. Yeah, maybe he is only a 3. I thought he was a 4. But he's really small. He's like half the size of a mule deer. Like when you look at him on the hill, compared to anything else, he's literally like half the size of a mule deer. Yeah. That's a crazy place to see a whitetail. Right? There's rat deer up here. Well, he's raking, isn't he?
Yeah, he's raking a tree. Just thrashing. What the heck, dude? Look at him go. He's like jumping around and stuff. He's getting all fired up, man. He's like, yeah, I'm the big man. Big buck on the mountain. Got these huge antlers.
Whitetail are extremely well to adapting to almost any climate, and that's why you see them across the entire continent of North America. It's just I would never think to see one where we're seeing one now.
He's walking out of the bramble into some open shit.
It's so cool being able to just like observe a whitetail buck though.
Yeah, it's a first for me, actually. I've never spent longer than like 30 seconds looking at one of these things.
It's so puny.
Yeah,
His body's micro.
yeah, that's a little deer.
Well, after not seeing what we're after for multiple days, we're deciding to call it on this spot. Everything we've seen has been leaving, and that's not helping us, so we're leaving too. Got a long walk. Oh. And it's windy.
Tried really fucking hard.
Still haven't.
Really hard.
Yeah.
We did not spot a 4 point.
Doesn't matter how hard you try, man. You gotta have a little bit of luck.
Yep.
I think the bucks aren't using the open anymore. So we're packing up, going for a big old boot.
doesn't happen very often up here.
He just upped our deer numbers and we didn't have to class for it.
That was cool.
It's all good. The hot chocolate vanilla latte mix. Hands down the best thing I brought this trip,
I'm super jelly.
right?
Yeah.
Just eat a little.
Pro tip,
Yeah.
you gotta bring things that you actually make you smile.
Yeah.
Not just the bare minimum.
Hunting is rough. The pick me ups are money.
Yeah, big time.
Heat up your water. The heat of the fires, conserve gas. And to go with it, we got dessert. Living large up here.
That's funny.
The moon is still up. There's tons of light already. Just getting a little heat buff. It's really cold. And then I'm gonna head out there and go look for a buck. Been very, very uncomfortable sleeps this trip. My sleeping pad is absolutely terrible, and I'm pretty much sleeping on the ground, so feeling a little rough from the mountains. Hopefully we turn up a buck today. I'm gonna go for a walk. Isn't that down here?
We think we just ran into the buck. We couldn't see him, but he was either bedded just inside of the timber or he was coming out as we were coming into this opening. And I watched him turn around and bound inside the timber.
He was standing right in there, and we couldn't see him.
Yeah. He wasn't in the open, he was in the shit. But he saw us and turned.
Although we had a ton of country to look at, we stuck to what had been working previously. 5 days before, still hunting this exact same spot, I had an encounter with a buck. And yet again, it happened all over again in the same spot. And yet again, that deer eluded us. He was just standing at the wrong spot at the wrong time, and the timing didn't really line up. We kept looking around, found a moose paddle, hoping that maybe the buck would step back out and make another mistake.
There's another rub down there that wasn't there before. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it could be a moose, but it's a rub.
Usually with deer, it's important to be patient. We stayed up high in hopes that maybe he would make a mistake and step into an opening down below where we could get a look at him. This, however, did not happen. So eventually, I sent Justin on a deer drive, and I stayed up positioned, ready to get a shot if we could push him into the open.
Okay, so we're sorry to the viewers we didn't get any video of bucks, but this is really tough hunting and it's super hard to film when you're trying to make a shot happen. But like 5 days ago, I saw a buck on the first day we were up here, and I knew it was a 3 on one side with something going on. Apparently it doesn't have anything going on.
Well, I don't know.
Well, he doesn't know, but anyways, we basically had an idea that those deer that we walked away from were still here now that we're back, so we came to hunt them. And this morning, we went right back into where I basically would have seen the deer 5 days ago, and he was within like 300 yards of that, but he was already in the timber or bedded down or something. And we came into an opening and like saw nothing, so then we just kept creeping. We were going to still hunt this entire mountainside this morning. And
I looked to my right, and he, I think I saw him stand up out of his bed, and he took a bounce into the timber, and I was like, that was him. I just knew instantly. I didn't see his antlers, but it was a big-bodied deer, huge butt. And then I was like, that was the buck.
So then we ran up the hill, and we were like, well, let's just try and get you, Kevin, in position where he can see, and I'll go down into the timber and see if I can push the bucks out into the open.
So we tried a Kentucky deer drive. Justin went down into the trees because I only heard him bounce twice. And you cut back. Justin dropped down 150 yards over, started coming back towards me.
Well, as soon as I dropped into the trees, I didn't even get 30 yards in the trees, and a buck was standing 25 yards to my right. A hard horn, tall, looked like a 3-point buck. And then he just took a couple steps out of sight, so I looped back around, and then by the time I got up to above where I saw the deer, Kevin was way up above me.
Yeah, because I started hoofing her this way, and I got past my brother, and Justin's down in the bottom, and he waved at me, and I looked up, and a different buck, and still in velvet on the 18th of September.
September 18th, there was a mature buck in
Big
velvet.
mature buck. It came out of the bottom, out of the last patch of timber, and it was walking almost 300 yards away from me up the opposite edge. So I just fucking put my head down. I could have laid down right there, but I wasn't gonna get only a handful of seconds to look at him with my gun. So I freaking ran up the hill, got out of sight of my brother, and now there's a flat bench that only goes 100 yards to the trees, and one patch in between me and him. So I freaking moved as quick as I could, put the camera down, and then I'm creeping around the corner because I know he's going to be right there. And before I can even throw the gun up, I can see the buck, but I can't shoot him yet. Justin came out into the open because he didn't know the buck was there. And the buck's head just spun around and looked down at Justin. And then he didn't even give Justin 2 seconds, and he was already starting to bounce. And then I got the gun up, and it was a nice buck, but it wasn't a shooter. It was we came up here to try and kill a big buck, and
the velvet buck was probably
he was
tips of its ears
he
wide,
was 24
tall,
wide,
and really bad forked.
Super shit forks. He had paper thin velvet, just like one I killed out of here a couple 3 years
on
ago.
the 12th, yeah.
And his G2s were this long, skyscraper tall, but then his forks on the top were just little 4 or 5 inch forks, and then his front forks were only crab claws.
Not to mention we had very risky shot opportunities.
Yeah,
to take one at a buck like that, just no point.
The only chance I had, I sprinted from where I'm standing right now, another 100 yards, because I could see him bounding through the timber edge. And I laid down, put my gun on a rock, and he came out on Skyline, and he was doing the slow-mo bounce. And you could maybe make that happen, but that's such an unethical shot. And
especially
if it was a giant, honestly, I might have tried because he was only 200 yards away. But still, it just it wasn't the caliber of deer that we were looking for. So
no, it was super exciting.
It was really exciting.
We've never ever tried to push the timber like that before, and the first time we tried it, we saw 2 bucks and had a questionable opportunity at one.
Well, we've just taken everything that we've learned along this trip and kind of put it to the test today, and it worked.
Yeah.
All of our theories that we've come up with over the past week came to fruition this morning, and we fucking made...
Kev has been thinking that these deer were living on this little face the entire trip, and he was right.
Yeah.
I walked in there, and they were both just there.
Yeah.
But, we had a perfect morning. Can you find a deer in the open? Not a chance.
Yeah.
No way.
Everybody thinks that going up into the Alpine is easy, man. Those deer were already in the timber embedded down before it was even legal shooting light.
Yeah. We started hunting at where we thought we could count points.
The moon was still way up in the sky, and the sun hadn't even come up yet, but it was so bright from both light sources that you could see clear as day.
Yeah.
And...
yeah, we got up at 6 o'clock and started hunting at 6:30.
No, I was leaving earlier.
Yeah. But
nonetheless, I don't know what time it is now. It's 8:12 now. Normally, every day we've been here, the only time we've seen any deer move was from about 8:30 to 10 in the open, and they only do it for a short period of time. So unless they go to a spot that you can then stalk to, then there's no chance, because the deer have literally just been like coming out of timber, going straight into timber, and then it's over.
The only chance we have now is to hike back over towards camp, glass the other drainage, and if there's no bucks there, then we're probably leaving. Because we just pushed the 2 deer that we knew about that were living. Well, we only knew there was one.
We only knew about one.
The 4-point in velvet we didn't even know was here.
Yeah, that's insane. That is, to this day, as that happened, like that buck we just saw right in front of us, that was the latest I've ever seen a mule deer in velvet in my life.
Me too. September 18th, full velvet.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. It was a cool buck. Like, that buck he was old. Like, it wasn't a young deer. Like, the body on it was gigantic, and it had this super dark gray coat, and its gut was just fucking round.
Huge.
It had like a saddleback, and I don't know. He didn't have the genetics to be a big buck. He was a big buck. He was a big buck. He'd be bigger, but that was a bigger buck than like 70% of the bucks I've ever killed in my life.
Yeah.
And like probably a bigger buck than most people will ever shoot, to be fair.
It is. It was a fully
that buck
mature.
was like that tall.
Yeah, it was tall and it had a decent spread. It just had no forks.
Yeah, it was like a 24-inch wide buck that was skyscraper tall with no forks.
Yeah.
Well, it had forks.
If he would have, had he just stood there and I didn't blow him out, I probably would have shot at it. But
it's just like we've killed 3 deer in this region in the last 8 years, and we always try and like get a bigger or a better one, because this deer management unit has like so few deer that like.
We've been up here for 6 days, and those are the first 2 bucks I've seen.
That we've had, so that we've had an opportunity.
I haven't even seen.
Well, besides the whitetail.
The whitetail buck, but those are the first 2 mule deer bucks I've seen in 6 hard days of hunting.
I don't know. That was the highlight of the trip for us. I mean,
100%. That was the most action we've had.
We didn't really get any deer footage this trip, so this video ain't gonna be nothing too crazy. But at least you guys can hear the hunting stories in the vlog, because realistically, like when you tell somebody a story, that's kind of what's important anyway. But yeah, it was fun. It's been a good hunt. It's just, I'm happy that we finally made something happen after all this time, and it worked.
Yeah, I feel like we succeeded in a sense where it's like we came to a place that we know is super hard to hunt. We know we're super late coming in here, and we still ended up forcing something to happen. We saw a fucking 4-point. Like,
in a place where you can spend a week and not even see a deer.
Yeah, and had we not tried really hard, we wouldn't have seen anything. Yeah. Kevin has always said to me, the only reason why we see bucks is because we try really hard and we're very persistent. And this morning, we could have just walked out here and glassed all the country and saw nothing, but instead we tried hard and we tried something new and it worked.
Yeah, we dropped like 800 feet in elevation and pushed some timber, and it fucking pushed some bucks into the open. It was good shit.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's the hunting story.
I think that we're going to...
I think the plan now is we're going to go hike our fucking asses back up the mountain.
Go glass the bull.
We're going to go glass the other side and see if anything moves this morning. And if we don't locate a buck over there that's worth going after, then I think we're going to bail out of here. And we still have 3 days worth of food, including today.
We could go hunt other Alpine, or we can go cupwalk hunt.
Yeah, we were debating maybe spending like 2 nights hiking into a different zone to hunt a different Alpine spot, or we are thinking we might just go and cover ground and like try hunting some burn that we've never tried, or maybe do some like cut block hunting below Alpine, because this mountain has like basically no cut blocks, but there's some in the neighboring region that we can hunt, so it'd be like an hour drive.
This has been a weird, interesting trip. We came up here with low expectations. Well, I didn't. I had high hopes.
I always come up here with low expectations because it's literally one of the hardest places to hunt in the province, I think, for deer. And
I had high hopes because we've been really lucky in seeing deer, but you know what? We've had just as much opportunity this trip as we have ever.
Every other trip.
Yeah, very little.
We always said if we see 1 deer a day, we're doing good, and if you see more than that, then you're killing it. And it's like... I don't know, last year we had an amazing year. We probably saw like 15 deer, and Justin killed a giant.
Yeah.
but we worked so fucking hard for that deer. And this year we've worked equally as hard and had less opportunity. So it's it just makes you appreciate, like, when you do connect on something after you put in a big trip and all the work like this, like, it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These deer were conveniently located in a spot where if they go down, they're in the wide open, and if they go up, they're in the wide open. So we had them pinned. We knew they were there, and we forced them out.
Yeah.
They had no choice but to show themselves one way or the other.
Kentucky deer drive, bud.
Anyway, let's go glass the bowl and go see if we can't find... Well, you never know. What if there's a hog over there?
Fuck, I doubt it.
Come on, please be a buck. Please. She's looking back at that other deer.
Yeah, there's definitely another deer there.
Yeah, here it comes. It's coming out right here. It's a fucking doe. Yeah, it's a doe. Yeah, I see it.
Well, just as I thought, there was no mega buck in the bowl. But the same two does that we had seen 4 or 5 days before were still basically in the same spot. They were out feeding, and we watched them for a little while. They picked apart the bunch of tops and new growth off of some of the scrubs, and before too long, they were headed into the timber, just like the bucks that we had encountered first thing in the morning. It was a beautiful morning and a very nice, enjoyable time to sit and watch a little bit of wildlife on the mountainside.
Well, that experience this morning definitely made the whole trip. Even though we didn't pull a trigger, it was still a great 6 days up here on the mountain. Worked super hard for that encounter, so we feel accomplished and it was good. Neither of us had a great shot. I had the deer at 110, Justin had him at about 200, and we both could have taken like a bounding shot at him, but it just wasn't worth it, not ethical. So nonetheless, we're gonna we got camp pretty much bagged up here. She's all packed up, and we still got 3 more days of food, so today will be a travel day, and then we're gonna go hunt some local stuff, or not local to us, but we're gonna go hunt some stuff closer to home and see if we can't turn up another buck. Maybe come home with one, eh?
Yeah,
Turn this trip around.
hope so.
We don't think it's worth staying because we've looked this country over high and low, and those are the only 2 bucks, or only place we knew of where there was any bucks hanging out. So,
And we just pushed the 2 deer. That
yeah,
were in there,
we blew them straight out of here. So there's not much left to do now.
Nope, gotta go find other bucks.
It could be days before they even come back, and only one of them was a shooter. It was an upper age class deer, like it was a huge buck.
It was.
It was a big deer, but it just had really crappy forks.
Yep.
Nonetheless, good trip, bro.
Yeah, good trip.
Ain't over yet. We still gotta walk the hell out of here.
I know. It's not gonna be that bad. It's all downhill.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
entire way.
Downhill hurts my fucking knees though.
But you got pulled forward.
Yeah.